Hello true believers, welcome to Multiverse. I already made a video where I did share my first impression about the game, but here I am going to show you some gameplay and I will talk a bit more about the game. So let's get this party started. You could decide to form your own group to play the game if you want to, although you can simply use also the quick play option and the game will match you with 4 other players.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I never wanted to be Iron Man, but it worked out for everybody. If I'm not joking about something, you know I'm not taking it seriously.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
So as the match starts, you will select your character. Sadly, if somebody else already selected the character you want, you're gonna have to select another character. It seems that you can only have, let's say, 1 Iron Man per team, 1 Hulk per team, and so on. So sadly, I kind of like to play with Iron Man, but if somebody select Iron Man, no choice, I have to select another character. I guess that would be my first issue with the game, is that if you really enjoy playing a specific character and you're forced to play another character that maybe you don't really like, I have to admit, I'm not really crazy about that. There seems to be 3 modes at this point. So there's one mode where you have to protect the convoy, or for the other team, they have to stop you from protecting the convoy. The other mode is a King of the Hill, where you pretty much have to capture an objective or various objectives. And the last mode, you pretty much have to destroy the other team. Now, full disclosure, I'm not really a shooter player. I usually play RPGs, although I did play a few shooter games in the past. I played Destiny 2, I did play Calls of Duty a little bit. But the game I played the most PvP is DC Universe Online.
Hold still. I'm trying
But at the end of the day, I'm not really a shooter player. So take what I say with a grain of salt, knowing that. But the 3 modes seems to be a bit limited to me. The one where we have is only having 3 modes. Maybe that will get old real fast. But again, I'm not really a shooter guy. Maybe most people who play shooter games, they don't really care how many modes there are. They just care about the shooting the other team. So take what I say with a grain of salt, knowing that I'm not your typical shooter player. Although already I can see some patterns being used by certain players. One argument often for PvP is that playing PvP you play against other players, and other players should be more unpredictable than NPCs in a PvE game. Sadly, that's not really the case. Very often, a lot of players will gravitate towards the same playstyle, the same patterns, and it pretty much becomes as predictable as fighting NPCs sometimes. Some of the pattern we've seen so far is there are people who will take a Black Widow or Punisher, will try to hide in a corner in a map somewhere, and then they'll try to snipe you from afar. That's pretty much all they will do the whole match. Or there are players who will hide in a corner, they'll wait for the cooldown of their abilities to expire, and then they'll come in, use their abilities, and then they'll go hide again until they can use their abilities again. So too often you're stuck fighting multiple opponents by yourself because some of your partners are hiding somewhere. Now this here was pretty much an early match I did. I was still fighting a lot with the control, although I'm still fighting a lot with the control. I've been playing DC Universe Online for 13 years, 14 years at this point. So my muscle memory is pretty much stuck playing DC Universe Online. So very often I'll try to fly by pressing the X button only to realize, oh no, that's not how Iron Man flies. Or I'll try to block holding the R1 button, which obviously that's not how it works in this game. Although I'm still fighting with the control a bit, I'm getting a bit better playing the game. Also, part of playing the game is learning the various maps, learning where people are hiding, so you can pretty much go and find them there. So again, I'm still fighting with the control, but the more I play with the characters, the more it'll pretty much become a reflex. Although, one thing I don't like is that you cannot change your loadout. Like, in DC Universe Online, you can pretty much customize your loadout. So at this point, I pretty much have a loadout that no matter what character I play, my muscle memory will react very quickly to pretty much any characters, no matter what power I actually use. But in here, it's you pretty much have to learn the loadout of each character. And already just learning the loadout of one character, I find that a bit challenging because again, my muscle memory at this point is pretty much set to play this Universe Online. So I wish I could rearrange the abilities of Iron Man a bit different with different controls. I read somewhere that you should be able to do that, although I could not see that option on the PlayStation 5. Maybe it is something you can customize on PC. Maybe you cannot customize it on PlayStation 5. I guess I'll have to keep looking into it, but yeah, I wish we could customize the controls a bit differently. Oh well. Although again, it might be a user error, maybe it's just me who doesn't know how to do it just yet. We'll see. If any of you guys know how you could customize your controls on the PlayStation 5, let me know. And you may have noticed I do have a tendency to attack from afar. Basically, when you fly, I had a tendency to fly way up there in the air. And sadly, even if you're flying in the air, you're not safe. There's plenty of characters that have long range attack that will pretty much snipe you in the air. If you remain in the air with nothing to cover you, you'll be an easy target, and especially if the other team focus fire on you because you're pretty much a standing target in the air, you won't stand a chance. So you'll notice in this match specifically, I was way overcompensating. I was already trying to get some obstacle in front of me so that people will not be able to target me, to snipe me from afar. But I took it a little bit too much to be extreme in this match. I'm trying way too hard to try to get some sort of cover in front of me so that I don't get targeted. I'll get used to it after a while. Also, I don't have the timing quite right with the cooldown of some of my abilities. So sometimes my abilities are ready to be used, and I wait and I wait and I wait because I don't realize that, oh, the cooldown is done. I guess I have a bit of a tunnel vision where I don't really see just yet the full UI. I guess as I get more and more used to the game, I won't have tunnel vision as much, and I will be able to see a bit more what happens at the bottom of the screen without needing to look at the bottom of the screen specifically, like using my peripheral vision. But right now, I guess I'm still new, I'm still getting used to a lot of stuff. So I do have a tendency to have a bit of a tunnel vision and focus only on the center of the screen, as opposed to paying attention to everything that happens around the screen. I guess with time I will get used to it. The more I will play the game, the more everything will pretty much become a reflex, and I won't really have to think about it as hard. We'll see.
I don't think that's the welcoming committee. Full gamma power, baby. That put a spring in my step. We shall not.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way.
Judge, jury, executioner!
So close! This is a big chance!
Enjoy the amplifier! Your powers are mine! Behold the god of thunder!
Maximum pulse! I don't think that's the welcoming.
Ah, 4 in a row!
Rise, my friend!
Can't be late to the shrine or the whole web might fall apart. Move Piece of cake. That put a spring in my step.
People usually don't let me in.
Bird is firing. Hit it.
Only 60 seconds left.
This time I need healing. You're ready for it!
So here we will see an example that if you remain in the air, like you can see, you're pretty much a perfect target. So you have to try, even if you're flying, you're not safe, you have to try to find some sort of cover for your character so that you don't get you don't get sniped from afar. You can pretty much as far as I've noticed, pretty much every character has some sort of ranged attack.
Another epic victory.
And here we do end up with a victory. Now at this point I had, I think, one match that was a draw, 2 matches that were losses, and 2 matches that were victories. Here you can see our friend Hulk was the MVP of the match. So if you were wondering what the gameplay actually looks like, now you have an example. Obviously this here is an example with Iron Man, but obviously I'll try to make videos about other characters in the future. Excelsior!